So ladies, thank you so much for coming by today. I'm here with some of the lovely Sangre Negra ladies, Arianna and Marilinda. And if you guys, I guess could start out just tell me a little bit about how you got involved.
Go first, come on. Okay, how I got involved. I pretty much went in for an audition. I saw an audition on LA Casting, and I went in for the audition to read the part of Lourdes.
Oh.
It wasn't even Francesca, it was Lourdes. Mm-hmm. So I walked in and I met with Frank and Tony, and I auditioned for Lourdes, and they're like, could you take this one and then come back like in 15 minutes? So I came back with Francesca, and they liked it. So I came back 4 other times to audition with Francesca and like different ladies, and yeah, lots of callbacks and auditions until they realized that it's my role.
Right.
I don't know what I had to do to like hammer them down, but I got it, and then that was fantastic.
Excellent. So it was a period of time. It wasn't.
Yes.
Sounds like it wasn't just a one-time shot.
No, it was not. It was not. It actually took some time for them to realize that it's for me.
Yeah.
It's my role.
Right.
But yeah, I auditioned several times with beautiful ladies who all seemed so perfect for the role, and I was like, it's me. But it was fun there. It was really fun to work with them.
Yeah.
So for me, actually, I went and auditioned for Francesca, and that was after I auditioned for a different project that I was doing with Antonio and Frank.
Okay. 3
years before Sangre Negra existed.
Oh, wow.
So I went to this audition for a film. It was called Forbidden, and it for some reason it quite didn't work for the production side of things. So 3 years after, Antonio called me and said, "I have a role for you," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready." Thanks for calling me 3 years after.
Right, thanks for thinking of me.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's why I think we get used to going to an audition and getting out of the room thinking, I'm done with my part, like whatever happens after this is not under my control.
Right.
So he told me that he had a role for me, and that was the role that he was going to give me, the Francesca one. And then he saw how spicy I am. I'm Latina. And he's like, you know what? I'm thinking you should be Velvet. It's more of a fun, not so serious, because you're very serious.
Yeah.
And the role is super fun. And to me, taking on roles that are definitely gonna challenge my skills as an actor and also my training. I think that's what I'm looking for. So it was perfect that they gave the role to her and Velvet to me.
Right.
Francesca's kind of like a pushover. In some aspects.
And that's what I was gonna go right into, is tell me a little bit about your character. So
Right, and I can't see you as just sitting there and taking it.
Right.
I'm looking at these scenes and I'm like, she just sits there and takes this.
Yeah.
But I can't see Marilinda. Like Velvet is just perfect because she gets to actually they wouldn't have thought of me for Velvet. They would have been like, that's not. The pole is not gonna dance around you. You're not gonna.
Right.
You've gotta be spicy.
Yeah.
But Francesca is just a very good hearted girl. I guess she's just been through so much in her family life as well, which you don't see that yet.
Right.
But it's gonna come up.
Okay.
And where she in her life has always been pushed around, but she always just thinks with her heart instead of with her head.
Right.
Until her daughter came along, and that's when she decided that she can't be running around, chasing love, chasing this bad guy that's obviously, she's crazy about, but he's just not good for her.
Right.
Now that she has a daughter. So it's this whole back and forth of fighting your heart and your mind and trying to be a good mother, because she's a very good mother. That's what she is. That's her number one goal.
Right.
So right now she's just pretty much trying to see who wins.
Yeah.
Your head or your heart.
Right.
Torn, but let's see. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And what about Velvet? Can you share a little bit? We've obviously talked about her being spicy.
Yeah. Well, Velvet is someone that she uses her beauty and what she knows from the street life and takes it to every situation that she's in. You can see a little bit of her in the first episode, but you'll see a way more after the first episode. And basically, I think Velvet is the kind of woman that every woman has inside.
Okay.
And for me, especially, I come from a very traditional background where, I grew up in Puerto Rico, so that kind of lifestyle of being outgoing and being so communicative and all that is part of my culture.
Sure.
But taking the other side of being a woman completely exposed and sexy and showing cleavage and and being very sensual all the time, that to me has been very, very difficult in my own life. I mean, you can tell. I mean, I just think that the gift of this role, Velvet, has put me in a very good place in my life. Because and I think that's what I love about Velvet. She's so sensual, and everything that she does to get whatever she wants, she commits to it. Not only 70%, it's like 200%.
Right.
And she takes whatever situation to a primary need. So if there's something that it needs to be done, she thinks of that specific situation as her priority.
Right.
So she commits to it, and I think that's why Ricky Santos goes crazy with this woman.
Yeah.
Because she's so willing to go for it.
Sure.
And that is something that I fight in my own life, to be like, yes, let's do it, and doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So free.
So so free, and you will see her dancing, on a pole. You will see her fighting and arguing with people so she can get whatever she wants. And I think that is something that allows us Latinas comprehend why we're so passionate about love, about music, about food.
Right.
And I love that. I absolutely love that about Velvet, for sure.
We've always had, as Latinas, we've always had to use our sexuality to get most things in life.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we don't have money, we don't come from money.
Yeah.
Generally,
Most of us.
Yeah. Generally. So we're very free in expression, and even in our family allows us to have that freedom from growing up.
Yeah.
To just say what we need to say and do what we want to do. So using our sexuality has been part of our life, and now and most people now get to experience that.
Yeah. And that's why I mean, you've noticed the Latino entertainment is just placing a really good spot for newcomers. Like we've been doing this for probably, like, I've been doing this for 12 years now.
Sure.
But I'm new in the business because my face is not out there yet.
Right.
I've done my things here and there, but when you have that kind of platform where people are coming in and taking over because of where we come from, we put passion in everything that we do, and that is because of that. What she says about being a Latina and not coming from so much and building from scratch, I think that has built for me everything that I have today. Yeah. And I'm not talking materialistic, I'm talking about going into a room with confidence, knowing that you have worked your butt off.
Yeah.
And that is something that we will take wherever we go. Even for our personal lives, we start creating this family with your partner, right away. We wanna have a good home for the people that we bring in our lives.
Sure.
And I think in every role, you as a Latina and me as well, it really puts the role and the character in a different level.
Right.
Because people can relate to us.
Sure. It's very empowering and inspiring too.
Yeah, it is.
And that's one of the things that the guys talked about in their interview was really, being passionate about bringing diversity. Yeah. Because we need it.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to see, as a society, we need to be able to see more than just what's there now. And to know
agree.
That,
if you think back at Latin entertainment, it's always been like Thalia, which I love, by the way. All her novelas were like She starts out with dirt
Yeah.
poor,
Right.
and then
living in the trash can.
pretty much carrying fruits. And then she's like filthy rich.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Because of her sexuality, and then playing the little dumb card, and which is not like the
It's not dumb.
help me
Yeah.
card type of thing.
Yeah, it's not dumb. It's just smart.
It's just right.
Yeah.
No, exactly. But there's always one point to another point.
Sure.
It's never like here, for instance.
Mhm.
Francesca is who she is, and you get to see her work
Sure.
internally, and you get to see what
Mhm.
what pushes her.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no going from they're always trying to, I guess, put Latinas in like the you can't be rich from the beginning. You
Mhm.
can't be like that's like pushing Velvet from becoming an entertainer to becoming dirty rich. No, she is comfortable
Right.
with who she is, and she gets what she wants by working with what she has.
Mhm.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not like whatever ulterior motives she has,
Mhm.
she goes after them. It's
Right.
not like
It's a self-awareness.
right.
It's a self-awareness of going, okay, so here's who I
Who I
am, and
am.
this is what I
Yes.
have, and this
Yeah.
is what I have to bring
And
to.
I'm comfortable with that.
Right.
There's no need to push. Reality. What really nice girl goes from like dirt poor to like dirty rich with like just meeting one guy? Like
Yeah.
Right.
that's so unrealistic. But that's the portrayal that they have of Latina women.
Yeah.
You're either like somebody's maid, and then you get to be devious, or you
Mhm.
get to
Mm,
or you get to like go from this to that.
Yeah.
Why can't you just show power
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Sure.
But that's why I think these projects are so necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Not only to show what we could do as artists, placing our culture in a different standard of view, because
Right.
people look at us and say, yeah, she should be the maid in the movie,
Mhm.
or she should be the one that hooks up with this guy.
Mm.
So this project brings such a diversity on board that you can see a Latina being the queen of the house. You can see the Latina taking control over her life.
Yeah.
You can see a Latina getting whatever she wants on a pole.
Right.
In that case, it would be me. But what I'm saying is, like, you could see all the ranges that we as Latinas can bring to the business, and not stereotype what we are, what we're
Supposed to
used
be,
to or
sure.
supposed to be. And that, I love this fact that we're bringing big names to the project, and that's going to get a lot of attention.
Mhm.
So we're just continuing what we've always wanted for our own careers,
Yeah.
and it's refreshing. It's just very refreshing.
I was just going to say, one of the things that has struck me after watching episode 1, with the writers not being women,
Mm-hmm.
but being men, so often that goes along the lines of the women in the film or in the TV series being, like you said, in a stereotypical role, or passive or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just so refreshing to see something that men have written,
Yeah.
and they've written women to be exactly what you said, very powerful.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty interesting that Antonio, and
yeah, it's
would write
rare.
us in
It's
like
rare.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's rare.
also, he was the beauty of working with these two guys, Frank and Antonio. I don't know if this happened to you, but they're not Latinos.
Mhm.
But they're very, very excited about working with Latinos and diversity crew. And sometimes he will call me, hey, do you think you would actually say this?
Right.
And those are the people that I want to work with. If they're not
Right.
familiar with the background of certain characters because of different traditions and different way of speaking, he will call me and say, do you think you would say this like this?
Right.
How do you say this in Spanish? What would make more sense? And so that flexibility that we get from them, it allows us to be more in control of what the character is,
Right.
which is wonderful.
Yeah.
As an actor, I think that's amazing that they allow us
he
to do that.
communicates with us, which is fantastic. Instead of writing women in a pile of sex, he calls us and he's like,
Right.
with that is that something that you would do?
Right.
He actually gives us power and lets us use it. But what I loved from interview 1 when she interviewed the guys, which is absolutely true, that the younger generation doesn't really know Eric Estrada. They know
Right.
the older one knows
Yes.
him from Chips.
Right.
Yeah.
But what we want to bring is a new Eric Estrada,
Yeah.
where people are like, oh, Eric Estrada from Sangre Negra.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like bring back, and I think that's gonna be huge.
No, it's already huge. I mean, to me, I talk about Sangre Negra everywhere I go.
Yeah.
People, they hear this name of Sangre Negra. What is that? Black blood. What is it all about? It's in
Right.
Spanish. So I think we're changing that. The fact that
Yeah.
it's not in Spanish,
Right.
we're just really taking care of what is missing in the entertainment business
I
at this
totally
point.
agree.
So that's great.
I think that it hits actually many different marks
Mm-hmm.
in that way.
Yeah.
In terms of bringing more diversity
Yeah.
to TV,
Mhm.
but also bringing strong female roles
Yeah.
and having that as well. Again, breaking some of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty powerful, you know,
Yeah.
especially coming from writers that aren't women,
Mhm.
to have that awareness.
Yeah.
Allowing newcomers to let us show you what we could do with a
Mhm.
Right.
specific role.
Yeah.
Like why do we have to give it to like a big name? Let us show you as
Right.
minorities, as women, as newcomers
Mhm.
that we could do this.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And that's what I love about them, that they let us work with this.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was like, okay, so maybe if they don't give me the role, that means that they will call Zoe Saldana and give it to her because she has a bigger name. You know, I was like,
Right.
finally, there's a project that has a huge potential, that is
Right.
strongly believing in me to do my part and believing in everyone else to do their part.
Right.
And that is huge because this is what we do every day. If it's not you, it's whoever has the bigger follower, fan base, or the name.
Right.
So they can bring more people on board.
Right.
But now we're just like creating this huge group together,
Yeah.
starting from the bottom. Imagine all the big names that we're gonna bring to the project very soon for the next episodes. You know, I'm really looking forward to that.
Right.
I was just
For sure.
thinking that when Marilinda shows up, Zoe Saldana is gonna hide in a closet.
Right.
It's okay, Zoe. I'll go and get the key later. It's okay, you can stay there.
Avatar 2, I'm there.
Right. No kidding.
Talking about mistress. Okay, so I think there's something really, really exciting coming up pretty soon because we're about to meet at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned for more. But I think she's a beautiful woman. So to me, it becomes Velvet becomes like a very straightforward competition right away.
Of course.
Because
I can see that.
you know, Velvet starts getting attached to the fabulous life that she could have with Ricky Santos and his crew.
Right.
And she's she feels comfortable in that field.
Right.
Because she's getting all these responsibilities from Ricky, and so
Sure.
she feels important.
Yeah.
And when this one comes on, I'm like, but wait, she has a better purse than mine. And you know, that starts happening later on, but you will see. It's gonna be fun to see Velvet facing Francesca and comparing herself to something that she
She's
could
taller. I'm gonna need an apple box.
become. But you know, it's because I wear these stilettos that are like this,
Right.
you know, high. So.
Right.
For
So-
me, I think. Sorry.
No, go,
For
go,
me,
go,
I
go,
think that it's since she becomes his right hand. I've never Ricky at one point, or you know, who knows in future episodes, was the love of my life.
Mm.
So to see him connect with another woman
Mhm.
in this level where they actually understand each other.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never seen that. So that's
Mhm.
where she just kind of turns and starts wondering, like, did you ever really love me? Because
Right.
he's never gotten attached to other women. It's always been lots of women,
Sure.
but it's never been one that I can actually be intimidated
Yeah.
Right.
with the whole relationship.
Because she
So-
kind of knows there's sort of this revolving door of women,
Of course.
and that's very different than somebody that seems to be a little bit more
Yeah.
solid in his life.
Yeah, they understand each other, and I think that's what bothers her at some point.
Yeah.
But I guess we will have to see. But it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very interesting. I'm hoping that she stops being this pushover and starts
Taking
fighting
action.
back.
Right.
Yeah, and starts fighting back. So we'll see. I guess we'll see.
I'd love to. I'd love to actually. You had posted something the other day on your social media about loving two very different men.
Yes.
Mm.
And you see a little bit of that in episode 1. A little bit, because you kind of just assume, you know, she's a Christian and that's going really well. But there's little something with her, obviously, that's still attached. And
How do you love two different men who were brothers?
Right.
I mean, I didn't put that on post. They love two different men, and they all, you know, want to be with you. They all want to, I don't know, love you.
Right.
And you want to love them, and then you just can't because they're just so different. She's just stuck.
Yeah.
Francesca is stuck between an amazing guy,
Sure.
Christian, played by Danny, and who actually wants to raise a family with her and who wants to take care of his daughter. I mean, Ricky's daughter, and then Ricky, who just shows up and promises her the world and then takes it away.
Right.
So it's just so different, but you can't help but love who you love.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't.
Yeah.
Like, and that's, I think, where she's stuck.
Yeah.
Like, how do you stop loving someone? How do you
Right.
not? I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah. And that kind of brings me to my last question, which is how aware are you of what's to come, or do you only know a little bit? You know, sometimes people have a lot of information about what's to come down the road, and some don't.
He likes to tease us. He likes to tease us and gives us like little bits and pieces, but he won't tell you everything that's going to happen.
Right.
He'll tell you, like, you know, you might not end up with him because of this and that, or there's this fight that's going on, but he won't tell you what's happening next in the next episode.
Right.
So you're like, am I going to be good? Am I going to be bad? Am I going to, you know, get into this big car accident where I don't come back? I don't know.
But I think that's a really good strategy, though. Like the fact that he's not giving everything out to to the actors.
Yes.
Because it's like life. You live in the moment. You don't live thinking, wait, I'm about to cry in about 5 minutes. You know? And it's something that I consider that as a gift to us.
To the craft.
You know, to the craft and to our trainings that cost a lot of money. So I think when someone does that is because they're also giving us the responsibility and the freedom also to create what is best for the character for that amount of information.
I agree.
We don't need to create more than that. Just live in that precise moment. What is happening right now?
Right.
Right now and right now. So I like that about them.
Yeah.
And you know, thanks to that, we can create, you know, we can pull stuff from our lives, which is always the case. Like every character has a little bit of what we're going through in life.
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure she's putting a lot of her own life experiences in there.
Yeah.
Same, you know, for me.
It gives you guys just more creativity to do that.
Absolutely.
Versus being so structured.
Yeah, there's always a reason why we do things, why we act, why we move the way that we move. And
We're very similar in real life, not in the show, where we're a little bit maybe perfectionist with what they're giving us because we love what we do so much.
Yes.
That it's good that they don't give us ahead of time. They don't give us a script ahead of time because we'll plan it.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're gonna
and then it'll be a little over.
Then we're gonna come out. Like
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Instead of how it should really.
It's true. It's so true.
Be. So that's good. Good job, Tony.
And Frank.
Yeah.
Great job.
And the crew and the craft and the people behind the camera.
Everywhere.
Always a pleasure.
I was gonna ask. You just summed it up. I was just gonna say, has it been working with those guys? But obviously,
amazing.
There you go.
It's so great. I love the fact that they ask us first, when are you available? Because they understand that, you know, we have side jobs.
Oh,
You
like
know,
4 or 5.
4 or 5, like Jamaican style. We drive a car. We work at nighttime. So he's very considerate, and when they're choosing dates to put everything together, they ask us first, and that is something that is such a treat.
Oh, nice.
Because whenever they're ready, they call us and they make sure we're available, and that is something that I respect a lot. I mean, it will get to a point that we will be like, you know, on call all the time to shoot, because the show, the turn that it's taking is definitely going to be one of those shows that, hey, we're ready to shoot. Are you ready? Come on, let's go. Let's do it. And we will have to be on a plane or on a trailer, and that is when Marilinda's just gonna drop off all the side jobs and say, okay, I'm just working for Sangre Negra. Yeah, exactly. And I like that. So
yeah,
it's really wonderful to work with them. From my experience, yeah,
Definitely. I completely agree with you. It being an independent production, it's not easy.
Right.
Like we don't have network money backing us up, and so just the spirit that everybody has, like the crew, the cast, of not giving up and being so nice when you get to set and so friendly and trying to make whatever we have work. If we have a little piece of bread or some water, everybody splits it evenly, and that's what's so beautiful.
That's Latin style, though.
That is Latin style. But
I like
it's
that.
so beautiful
I like
because
that.
not a lot of people are Latin.
Yeah,
There are definitely minorities. There's all kinds. It's like a melting pot in this Sangre Negra cast and crew. But everybody just doesn't. They have like a great positive energy, and that's so wonderful to have because it's not easy, and we're making it through, and we're making some groundbreaking.
Yeah, and also that allows more people to come in. You know. Like the fact that we have a good crew is good to go to set. You know what I mean? It feels good. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna be here for 12 hours and dealing with all these people that have attitude. We have a really good attitude on set, and it's because of that. Everyone is hungry for the same purpose, to make this show, to mark territory, and that is what we're doing. And I'm really blessed to be part of it.
I was just gonna say, you guys have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah.
With it. Definitely.
I'm very proud. I'm
Yeah,
definitely
me
very
too.
proud. And they're just so kind too with everybody. Most actors, when they get to LA, we need vouchers. We want to join the union. And they do that for a lot of the people that show up, you know, because sometimes, like, obviously money is difficult to find. But they will give other actors that walk in on set, that they do like the smallest roles, they will help them out with vouchers. They will give them IMDb credit, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's huge.
You know, so like just, you know, people just offering that and just wanting you to grow as an actor because that's all that they can give at the moment. That's I'm very blessed. I feel very blessed, and I'm very happy to be a part of this.
You know,
and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that you point that out, because when interviewing the guys, of course, they're not going to say those things about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to hear folks that are working with them, you know, as
they're big
producers
shots.
and you know, and all that. But it's really nice. You know, this will be great for them to also to hear.
Yeah.
From you guys. But thank you so much, ladies,
Thank you.
for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.